Hey guys, I'm gonna try not to make this one as long either, so we'll see how that goes. I hope you guys have had an awesome night last night. So this video is going to be about something that a lot of us struggle with and we don't really like to talk about. This one is going to be about financials. So, one thing, it's one of my favorite Bible verses, and it's actually on my pen that I order all the time, and that I use a lot. My fiance can tell you that, which this is my fiance. I've seen him a lot in my videos, and and his name's Chris, and I've actually talked a lot about him. But be still and know that I am God, from Psalms 46:10. But that is one simple but very powerful Bible verse, because a lot of times I know I'm guilty. Chris can tell you the same thing. He's guilty sometimes. We're all guilty. Be still and know that I am God. Sometimes we just need to sit our booties down and just sit still. Because I know a lot of us, especially if you're independent like us, you tend to try to take care of stuff yourself. You tend to try to, you say that you give it to God, but really we don't. And we try to say, I'll just give it to God. I know God's going to handle it. I know He's got it. Okay, well then why don't we let it go? We pray about it, but then we sit here and worry about it, and we try to handle it ourselves. Just let it go. Well, I've done that way too many times. So I can tell you right now, all of us do it. I mean, we're all guilty of it. We're human. I mean, it's going to happen. It's okay. I mean, God's not going to venture off somewhere else all just because, we do it. We all do it. He knew that we were going to do it 10 years ago. He knows us. He's the one that created us. So He knows what makes us tick. He knows what makes us upset. He knows what makes us happy. He knows what makes us sad. He's the only one in this world that knows us way more even than we know ourselves. So, one thing I want to help you with today, and also help myself and help us, because sometimes we need to hear it, just with financials, it's on this earth, until it is our time, to go to heaven. Money is something that we have to deal with. It's just there, It's a way of kind of, I'm just going to be honest, it's a way that the government has, in a way, control over you, because it's money. It's something that comes from them, that they have to deal with, and it's something we can't live without here on earth. We have to, you have payments, you have vehicles, you have a house, when you go to, when you have a car, you're always having to put gas in. That's money. You got a car payment. That's money. And even if you don't have a car payment, you have to have car insurance. That's money. Whenever you get food, for you and your family, or for just you, or, your babies, or your whole little family, or whatever, that's money. Either way, I said I was going to make this short. I get too into my videos. But But he's my number one supporter. He always supports me, and he's like, baby, it's okay. It's okay. You know, whatever's meant to be, God's going to put it on your heart, and you're going to say it. And so I love that God sent me someone that's one of my number one supporters besides our babies. But, no, seriously though, that's one thing, you know, we all struggle with. You know, we have to truly, seriously learn. We just have to let go of it, you know, because we cannot let something like that overtake our happy. We can't let something like that, and I know it's easier said than done, but that's one thing that even myself, I struggle with because I am so independent. I get it honestly. I want to take care of stuff myself. You know, I've always been used to being the main supplier, you know, for our babies. And when, you know, me and Chris, and when you go through stuff and, like, say for instance, you change a job and it's not like you thought it was going to be. Or if you lose a job and you wasn't expecting to lose a job and you've always worked. Or if, there's several different things that may happen. And these are serious, you know, big situations to happen in your life. And you're not expecting it, you know. But God does. God has a reason for every single thing that we go through in life. Even though we may not understand, you know, why we go through it, God does. On the inside, if you're like me, you know, we're freaking out because we're like, holy crap, you know, these are things that we need, you know, here on earth, we need money, you know, financials to get through life. But one thing, and oh my gosh, it feels so good for some reason saying this right now, even though sometimes it is so stressful, you know, and Chris has told me this several times before. You know, money is just money. And at the end of the day is, you know, what he's always told me, at the end of the day, as long as I've got you and as long as I've got our family, our boys, I'm okay. And of course God, you know, but sometimes we stress so bad and we just let the little things get to us. And sometimes we need to just calm ourselves down and just, you know, talk to us and just talk to others or, you know, whoever needs it, if you need it, you know, and just say, look, it's okay. I know it seems like a big deal right now. If it's meant to be, God's going to see it through. I know I say this all the time, but it's true. If it's meant to be, God's going to see it through. If whatever that is that you're stressing over, that you're fretting over, if it's meant to be, don't sweat it. Pray about it. You know, ask God to help you with it mentally, emotionally, you know, physically, financially, spiritually, all of it. You know, ask God to help you with it and ask God to give you peace and comfort during this time while He's working on it. And ask Him, you know, to please take all the stress away from me about this. Because I don't like this feeling. I don't like feeling this stress on me. I don't like feeling, you know, hopeless. You know, that's kind of what you feel like. You feel hopeless. And especially if you're like me, you know, like Chris, you know, very independent, at times you do kind of feel hopeless because you like getting stuff done. You like taking care of stuff. And if you have OCD like me, you want to have certain things done by a certain time or by a certain way or whatever. And that can be, you know, and on top of having anxiety, and I do, and, you know, all of this, and I've got ADHD too, so any of y'all who has ADHD, power to you. But anyway, you know, we just need to ask God to help us through this, you know, to help us get through all of this. Because we do need help. We all need help, you know, with this certain situation. Because this is a certain situation that a lot of us don't really like to talk about. But we do need help with at times. And, you know, that's one thing that we seriously need to seek God in. We seriously need to pray about. We seriously need, God's help in. And, to have that peace, to have that comfort, knowing, you know what, devil, you need to back up. Yes, it's money. Yes, we have to have it. We feel like we have to have it. But, you know what, it's okay. There was once times before where money was not even a thing. And, and now we've got money everywhere. And, money-wise, financially wise, way back then, things were different. But now, times are changed and it's more difficult now as far as financials. And, you feel like a lot of times, like, you just can't ever catch up. You can't ever, like, you're thinking, when am I ever going to catch a break? When am I ever, and I'm going to try my best not to get too far into social media and government type stuff, because I don't want to make my videos about all that, because they already get enough attention anyway. But like I said, I am blunt, so I'm going to say it. And if God puts it on my heart, I'm going to say it. So if there's some people that gets mad, I'm sorry. It's the truth. And if God tells me to speak it, evidently there's somebody out there that needs to hear it, and he wants them to hear it. But, with social media, me and Chris both got rid of social media a while back. All of it. And the only thing close to the social media that I have is this. But that's my dream, is to, and it's not technically really social media, it's just YouTube. But, with a lot of social media, whether it's, Facebook or, I'm going to go way back then, MySpace, I don't even know if anybody uses MySpace anymore, but I'm going to say it. Facebook or, MySpace or Instagram or, let's see, on Snapchat, whatever, Twitter, whatever is out there, I don't even know. There's probably more now. I don't even know. TikTok, whatever. I mean, and I'm one of those. I love TikTok just because I was one of those. I love to dance, and I would just watch it to, look up new dance videos, and that's okay. But social media has a way of sucking you in, and has a way of getting into your mentality and messing with your mentality and your emotions and the way you think, and it changes the way you think in life. And the old saying, better, you teach them the right ways, because if you don't teach them the right ways, the world is going to teach them the wrong ways or the other ways. I mean, think about it. Back then, the government didn't really have their fingers, their hands into the whole mix. But over the years, they grabbed a hold, to social media, because they seen it was going to take off big and they want a part of it. And when I tell you, our lives have been so much more, and this is another word, when we all grew up, life was more simple. That's a big word, but big impact. Way more simple. I know a lot of people will say, well, these times, days, we're not back then. Times are not really simple now. Yeah, I know that. I do know that. But also, too, you can also change some things that you can do to help with that. So, back to what I was saying. With the whole social media thing, I'm just going to be blunt. Pretty much social media has become the toilet of entertainment. Just because when we got rid of social media, and when you do it, some of you that, has done it can relate, and the ones that feel like doing it but just kind of don't know if you should, when you do it and you've been off of it for a little bit, you may kind of feel temptations, because I did. And Chris did, I'm sure. But that's just because you start realizing the things that was available on social media and the things that you're no longer doing. But if you keep fighting those temptations and keep pushing it out, I can't tell you last time I've been on social media, to be honest. It's been so long. But when I tell you, you're going to start feeling the old self come back. You're going to start feeling, like, oh my gosh, where has this been? Like, it's like a whole eye opener, to a whole new world. And you just feel so much more laid back, so much more less stressed, so much more. And I mean, I'm not saying there's not going to be struggles that still come. I mean, we're still living on earth, so of course there's going to be struggles everywhere. But it makes it easier just because the social media, like for instance, I'm going to use me for an example. When I had social media, and others have told me this too, so it's not just me, and Chris can tell you too. Back when I had it, when God started speaking to me, I lost my daddy a year ago. And, he started speaking to me then. But then when my sister lost her biological dad also, not too long after our daddy passed away, that's when it hit me. That's when God spoke to me. Get rid of social media right now. And when he gave me those feelings and why to get rid of it, I was like, oh, wow, okay, yes, sir. And I got rid of them right then. And I have not been on it since. And it has been the best feeling. But when I was on it before that point, I started noticing, like, God started, and I think he done this on purpose to help me to get to that point to get rid of it. Because you wouldn't know unless you've actually been through it yourself. And once you've been through it yourself and God pulls you out of it, you appreciate it more. And you appreciate him more for getting you out of that situation and out of that mentality state or emotional state. And, I know I've spoke about this before, but I haven't really ever envied anybody. I don't like that word. I don't like when, even when I was in school, I didn't envy. I don't like that. Now, there are times where I had jealousy, so to say, just because, of past relationships in the past. But, I mean, we all go through that. That wasn't necessarily my fault. That's none of our faults. That was the person that you were with at the time. Nobody should ever have to feel, jealousy. That's just a given. When you're with the right person, you are going to know it because they're not going to make you feel any kind of jealousy. You're not going to have to feel jealousy or like you have to compare yourself to someone else. I mean, you're you. God made you. Okay, I'm getting off subject. But what I was going to say was, back when I had Facebook, I've always been one, I like to uplift my friends, or I like to uplift others and motivate them. Even if I see them doing better than me at the time, that's okay. I'm so proud of them. I'm so thankful, I was able to witness that. Or I was so, grateful that I have a friend that wants to do more for their life or wants to do, more out there, because there is more out there that you can do. One thing when we were smaller, I didn't really ever get until I got older, and now I'm all with it. Go above and beyond. When we were kids, we were like, what? I'm not going to do that hard. I'm not going to work that hard. We're just kids. But when you get older, you're like, wow. You see how hard life really is. And you're like, yes, I'm going to, if you're like me, sometimes, especially when I was little, God love me, I was one of those, I was very competitive. And a lot of my buddies and my cousins, they were like that too growing up. We were very competitive. And especially in sports or working out or whatever. And, go above and beyond. But whenever I had Facebook, I would see my buddies, like some of them I would see, oh my gosh, they just got a house, and it's so beautiful. And then you slowly start thinking, okay, well, how come I'm not in that spot yet? And I've been working at this place for this long, or I've been doing this for this long, but yet they've only been there for, a couple months or a year or whatever. They've already got a nice house or, whatever. And that's a big accomplishment. And I was very proud of them. And then, or if you see someone get married, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've always had these jerks, that's mistreated me. Every single one of them that I was with, they always mistreated me. When am I going to find my person? When am I going to have that one person I can settle down with and marry and have a happy life and, yada, yada, yada. And, and one point where you see other buddies on there where they've got really nice clothes and like, oh my gosh, they're always going shopping, or oh my gosh, they're always taking vacations and going to the Bahamas and going to, where in the world's that at? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Why can't I do that? Stuff like that starts slowly seeping into your mind. And it's nothing but social media, because that's just one of the few examples of what I'm talking about. Even if you're not that type of person, it will slowly start seeping you, into those feelings and into that mindset and into that, emotions. And I haven't ever been a person like that. And that's when I realized God was speaking to me, when He sent me through those feelings, because evidently that was His only way to show me, hey, you really need to get rid of this. This is a toxic in your life. And, you're one of the most laid back people, and you love to uplift people and you love to motivate people. But one thing I've always said is I want to be the best me, because how can I help someone else if I can't help myself? How can I help someone else feel better when I don't feel better? And you always want to strive to be the best you. I have always said that, and sometimes it's hard to actually do that yourself. It's been hard for me to do that sometimes, but it's true, and here I am 23 minutes, and I thought this was going to be a 5-minute video, and that's okay. Evidently God wanted me to say this, because either I need to hear this myself, or Chris needs to hear this, or somebody out there needs to hear this. And I love that. If I've gone over 5 minutes, so what? I love that feeling. I love the fact of once I've gotten it off my chest and spoke it to y'all or spoke it to someone, I feel so much better, because right then I'm like, okay, God spoke that right out of my mouth, because somebody here needed to hear it. And I'm so glad I was that one that was able to bless that person and help that person. And it may be myself. I don't know. It may be Chris over here. It may be somebody in the family. I don't know. But it's helping someone, and if I can help one more person or a lot of, more people in the world, I will have done one of the greatest accomplishments, for me, because that's my goal. That's my dream. And this world, has gotten, let me rephrase that. Most of this world, not everybody on this world is like that. There's still a good bit of good people out there, but most of this world has become so toxic, and it's for so many different reasons, and so one thing I wanted to say, back to financials, the whole reason why I started this video, be still and know that He is God. It's okay. We're going to stress. We're going to freak out from time to time. We're going to cry because we're so stressed, or our anxiety or whatever. That's okay. It's normal, and coming from someone who deals with anxiety, and who has dealt with depression in the past. And that is a real thing, just so you know. It is a real thing. Just because I know some people say that depression is not a thing. Yes, it is. Depression is a thing. We all can go through it sometimes, even though sometimes we may not know that it's depression, or some of us may not want to admit that it's depression. It is a thing, and it's okay. We're human. But as long as we know in our hearts and help each other not to stay there, that's what matters. Because we do have, I don't know if you can tell through my video, but it is a beautiful day today. God has so many different ways to show his beauty. And which we were talking about our son, Landon, the one you've seen a couple of times in my videos, he's got soccer practice tonight, and we love sports. And one thing we talked about, is like it's beautiful today. So one thing we talked about was, just because we're spontaneous like that and random like that, but it's beautiful today. And when you feel like it, even when you don't feel like it, just ask God to help you. Get up, get out of the house. Stop staying in the same spot. Do something different. Do something out of your comfort zone, every once in a while. Don't, big word, little word, big impact. Don't settle. Do not settle. Get out and, whether it's going walking, whether it's going for a jog, whether it's going to play tennis with somebody, at the lake or wherever, or playing racquetball, or, playing some basketball or whatever. Just get out the house. Go do something. Because once you start getting out of the house, you're going to start feeling better. You're going to start, and don't, and it's easier said than done. Yeah, we all need a phone nowadays or whatever, and that's okay. But when you get the chance, put aside your phones, social media, all that, and casually start doing that, and you'll start kind of seeing the feelings coming back that I was talking about, and don't sweat the financials, just take some time wherever you are. If you don't live, by any place that has this type of stuff or whatever, go somewhere, that you feel safe enough. That's okay, but go outside and walk, even if it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or if you're going to walk more than that, or if you want to go above that and go play some tennis or play some basketball or whatever. Get outdoors, or, get away from social media. Get out the house, because once you start doing that, you're going to start feeling it, and you're going to start feeling so much better. Our body needs a little bit of sunlight. Our body needs a little bit of fresh air, because if you stay cooped up in a house for too long, it is a proven fact. It can start developing, some depression or some, mentality or emotional issues. And if all you do every single day is get on your phone or get on your laptop or computer or, tablet or whatever, whether it's at home, at work, or wherever, if that's all you do every single day is get on social media, no wonder why your mentality and your emotions are getting like that. That's the thing. You cannot do this every single day for the rest of your life. You have to have some time for yourself. You have to have some time to get outdoors. If you're staying your nose cooped up into the social media or whatever it may be, that's their way of getting you guys. God has sent us so many signs. It talks about it in the Bible. And everything that's happening right now, it talks about it in the book of Revelations. If you go and look in the book of Revelations and the Bible and the original King James Version, I promise you, if you look, you are going to see right then, as soon as you start reading through, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, pretty much all this just about is happening right now in our lives. And a lot of you, it's probably going to scare the crap out of you. And I'm hoping that it wakes up, some of you, and, if you don't know about it, and it'll help you, to see and get a different perspective, a different outlook on life, and help you, to grow closer to God, and help you to better yourself, and help you to see life differently in a positive way. I know I'm speaking about that all the time, but more positivity than negativity. If it don't feel right, whether you're a child, or, in elementary school, junior high, high school, out of high school, college, adult, whatever. If you have that feeling in your stomach that it does not feel right, that you should not be doing it, don't do it. That is God's way of telling you and warning you that's not right or something bad's about to happen. Listen to it. No matter what you've done in life, no matter what you've gone through in life, no matter, what you may think, God loves all of us, guys. He's going to help all of us. But you have to help yourself and also have to help your mentality, and just say, even if you don't know how to pray, or even if you don't really know that much about God, or, just come to Him and, just let Him know, God, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to start this whole thing, but if you will, please give me peace and comfort. Let me know that you do love me. You are watching over me. You have always watched over me. You are going to help me through my struggles. Anything that may try to come my way, anything that, I may have a hard time with, I do know, and I'm going to trust in you and have faith in you, and I'm going to try my best to know that you've got me. I'm going to be okay. Please help me with this. I'm starting out with this. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to pray. I don't know what to think, whatever. Please start showing me signs, or start bringing me people into my life or things into my life to help me, to slowly help me to where I choose better habits. I choose better lifestyles or whatever it may be, and back to financials, please help me, give me peace and comfort, about that, and to not stress so much, to keep my mindset on you, and to, not let all this crap, mess with my mindset. And I mean, I know there's things I have to get done, that's a fact. But there's also things that are little minor things that may seem really big, but really they're only this little. And it's not that big of a deal. And so God, please help me through all of this. Help me to know to just breathe, just to be still, and know that you've got me. All of this will be taken care of. It's already been taken care of, because my favorite Bible verse again, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, and to give you hope in the future. One of my favorite Bible verses. No matter what you go through in life, you can always use that Bible verse. And God's already know what you're going to do, what you're going to go through 10 years from now, 5 years from now, a few seconds from now. He's already taken care of it, guys. Whatever you're going to go through, as long as you remind yourself and help yourself to know God's going to help me through this. I don't care, devil, what in the world you try to tell me. I'm sorry, but your word does not matter. God's word matters. Whatever you try to tell me is not going to work. Whatever you try to make me feel is not going to work. So you can take yourself back to hell where you belong, because you don't matter, and you're not going to take control over my life. You're not going to take control over my relationship. You're not going to take control over our family, our minds, our hearts. You might as well better back yourself up, because it ain't happening. And also, too, in the Bible, it clearly says that God wins in the end and you don't win. So, anyone that is not in your little circle, drop the mic. But, Chris over here dropping the mic. But, anyone that, and I had to do this myself, and it helped tremendously. Whether it's people that you went to school with, or people in your family, people that you worked with or do work with, or people that's in your circle right now, if you start going through and start truly thinking, and it may hurt, because I went through and it hurt me a little bit, but that's a temporary hurt. Once you do this, you start feeling the permanent fix. You start feeling the positive fix and more of the fresh air, like a weight lifted off your shoulders. And you may tick off a couple people, but hey, that's okay. God replaces. He always does. And you may tick off a couple people. You may upset a couple people. Like I told you, I'm blunt. But that's okay. God sends us through these things on purpose to let us know who belongs in our life and who don't. And if you see that it's a negative for you and your family, or you and your relationship, or you yourself, or your babies, if a lot of you are like me, I would straight hurt somebody quick over our babies. And I'm not kidding. That's the way you're supposed to be. And won't think twice about it. And I don't care if you're in the family, not in the family, whoever. I don't care if you're the Pope. When it comes to our babies and our family and God, that should be your number ones right there. And should always protect them. But start looking who all is in your circle. And if you start noticing little things that has, like, say for instance, if you have someone in your circle that's always negative, that's always got something negative to say, always got something, or the way they act is always negative, or, every time you talk to them, it's always complaining, it's always negative, it's always bringing you down. And, if you don't feel, uplifted or happy, or you don't get that good vibe when you talk to these people, that's a clear sign, guys. Limit who is in your circle to where you have more positives. The more you start limiting things around you to more positive things, I promise you, it is going to feel so much better. It's going to feel like a huge weight lifted off your shoulders. And like I said, if you're like me and have a huge heart, Chris have a huge heart, our babies, they have a huge heart and love everybody, it's going to hurt, because you've grown a certain bond with these certain people, or if you just don't like hurting people in general, I'm sorry, but something has to happen, guys. You have to take care of you. You have to better you. Your mentality, your emotions, your heart, you matter way more than you give yourself credit for. You matter. And also, too, another thing, 40 minutes, but it's okay. Another thing, if you're a parent, I'm getting on this level and I may step on some toes, but I'm sorry. If you're a parent, be a parent. If you're a parent, don't be out partying. Don't be out, letting your kid left and right on someone just so that way you can go and party, and drink all night long and get wasted and, stuff like that, or do stuff you ain't got no business doing, is the word we were raised up on. You know what's right and you know what's wrong. Clear sign. I don't have to put it in more simple words than that. You know what's right and you know what's wrong. We're all adults here, and even, you kids in high school, or junior high, or in college, adults, whatever. You know what's right and you know what's wrong. And if you truly don't know, depending on what it is, then that's where you need to trust that feeling in your stomach that I was talking about. If you start having feelings in your stomach, something don't feel right, or it's not a good feeling or whatever, that's teaching you right there. Listen to that feeling. Because 9 times out of 10, whatever it is that you're about to do, or whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, or that one of your friends are talking to you about doing, or whatever it may be, if you have that feeling, you have no business doing it. And back to being a parent. You parents, I'm almost finished, promise. You parents that say you're a parent, you need to act like you're a parent. Not just sit there and say that you're a parent because you want the title. I've known so many people in the past that has, bragged about being a mama or being a daddy or, or whatever. God placed you to be that parent for a reason. If you want to say you're a parent, but by God, you better be a parent. Because guess what? Just as very quickly and very easily, God gave you that blessing because it is a blessing. Babies are blessings. They are always blessings. So, if God gave you that blessing as quickly as He gave it to you, He can very quickly take it away. And I'm going to say that again because so many of you need to hear this. The ones who got the privilege, the blessing to be a parent, just as quickly as God gave that to you, He can very quickly take it away. The old saying, you abuse it, you lose it. Well, guess what, honey? You abuse it, you're going to lose it. So, you take that choice. You can be an awesome parent. You choose how you run your life. I don't care if you had the worst childhood. I don't care if you were abused as a child or if you were, certain ways of being abused. There's certain things I'm not going to talk about because my babies watch my videos, and there's probably other kids that watch these videos, and I want kids and teenagers, preteens, and adults. I want everybody to be able to watch my videos. So, if you want to know why I'm kind of doing this PG-13 kind of thing, that's why. Because I've always been that kind of parent. I've always been that kind of person. Because my thing I've always said is, you don't ever know who's watching. You don't ever know who's listening. And I'm not going to be the one that God punishes, or I'm not going to feel bad because I will feel bad. Just, that's how I am. Because I always try to think like kids do. And I'm not going to be the person that one thing I may allow, one thing I may say, what if one child somewhere, maybe my own child, what if one child somewhere or some teenager somewhere or preteen or whatever hears it and they had no business hearing it and they hear it? What if you were that one person that changed that child's mindset? What if you were that one person that changed that child's mentality, emotions, or changed the way they looked on life or whatever? Because you may not ever know it, but what if that child has always looked up to you? What if that child has always thought, well, like for instance, a lot of my nieces or cousins, whatever, they call me Maymay. So for instance, what if they're like, well, Aunt Maymay, or Maymay, she said it or she done it, so it must be okay, because she's always tried her best to do the right things. That's what I'm always saying, guys. We don't ever know who may be watching. And I try my best. Yes, I fall short every once in a while. We all do. We're human. Nobody is perfect. But we can at least try our best to do our best. That's why God put us on this earth, because yes, God's going to help us through things, but you know what? God also gives us common sense. So, use your common sense. Be a parent. Don't just be the title and say that you're a parent. If you're going to be a parent, be a parent. Don't go around, partying and always drinking, always getting wasted and, or even having your children around it, for crying out loud. Dear God. I mean, you're pretty much asking for it then. God don't like that stuff. And for the ones, and this what aggravates me the most, the ones who says it is okay, shame on you. It is not okay. It is not okay. And some of you, I think, secretly knows it's not okay. But you're trying to admit it to yourself that it's okay. I'm sorry, Kojak, but it's not okay. Alright? It's not okay. And I don't like using that word on these videos, but That is one thing we've got to help each other with. Be a parent. Don't just say you're a parent. Be a parent. And if some of your other friends, and it's okay to start now. It's okay to, even if you've watched this video and God clicks to you and helps you, awesome. I'm so glad, because I want to help so many people that I can. Let God, help you in so many ways to better you. And not only that, but to better you for your babies, your children. No matter how old they are, whether they're itty bitty, they're in elementary school, they're in junior high school. Age does not matter. If they're an adult now, it does not matter. Do better for you and do better for your children. Be that awesome role model that I know you can be. It's in you. You just have to push it out and do it. You have to have that mentality of you want to do it. Nobody can make you do anything. You have to want to do it. You have to have the initiative and the motivation to want to do something. So, with that being said, always going out partying, going out to the beach or Panama City or whatever to go party and, smoking, doing drugs, or, whether it's females or males, either one of you goes both ways, guys. The birds and the bees, yeah. Well, either one of you, wrong is wrong, and you know when it's wrong, and you know when something's right. Don't go around doing that stuff. I mean, you're going around, just letting yourself to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Don't do that. That's not, God don't like that either. I mean, be the best you possibly can be, but in the right way. Don't take that the wrong way. Be the best you that you can be in the positive way. And I don't mean that in the wrong way either. So don't take my words and swap them and be like, oh, well, she said be the best me, in a positive way. So let's go do this in a positive way and be excited about it. And no, guys, no. That's not what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. If you know for a fact, and this is the way we actually need to live life. We all fall short, I fall short, Chris falls short, we all fall short, we're human. But, and also try, if you can, try to find a church somewhere, or if you know someone that goes to a good church, or if you want to try it out. Try it, because the more we can get in church too, and if you don't feel like going right now, that's fine. God will help you get there. I'm not pushing you into church. You'll slowly get there. When the time is right, God's timing is perfect. So when He sees that you are okay, that you can do it, and He knows that you can do it. He does. But timing is perfect. So when He sees it's the best time for you, to get into a church, He'll get you there. But all I'm saying is try it. Church is awesome if you go to the right one. Because there are some churches out there who try to persuade people or try to make people think that they've got the best church, or that they're saying the right things. My advice to you, just learning over the years, the saying, do your research, I would do your research first. Look up, just to be on the safe side, this is just what we were raised on. And I don't really know much about the other Bibles. Just the only thing I know is a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, they've changed stuff around. And it's not okay. Like there's some stuff they changed around that God does not want you to hear. God does not want you to read because you're getting the wrong information. You're supposed to be getting the right information. and that's the wrong information. So just to be on the safe side, I just always say the original King James Version. So at least you know that's the right one and you're getting the right information. I don't know much about the other one, so I can't tell you about the rest of them. But I would do your research first. And if you don't know, where to get an original King James Version Bible, go to your local library. I'm pretty sure they've got one. Or somewhere where you can find one, and make sure it is that Bible. And, look at it, just different little sections. And some of them will walk you through it, how to start reading the Bible. But I would do your research first, to where you don't walk up in somebody's church and thinking you're getting the right information, and instead of 411, you get 911. Because you're going to wind up getting the wrong information, and that's no bueno. That's not going to be good. Because you want a blessing, you ain't wanting the, what's the word for it? You wanting a blessing, you're not wanting a mistake or whatever. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, guys, I really hope that all this has helped y'all. I really hope that Dear Jesus is 51 minutes. God's really speaking today. He's moving. I think this is my longest video, but you know what? That's okay. Alright. But yes, being a parent, be a parent. Don't say that you're a parent and don't even act like a parent. One thing that we grew up on too was the saying, animals and children will tell on you. That, I'm so serious. They will tell on you. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a parent, by God, those children are going to show it. They don't speak it. And if they don't speak it, now, I don't know about a lot of y'all's kids or children or whatever, but our little Landon, he gets it honestly. He's super blunt, and sometimes he tells on himself. And he's gotten himself in some trouble sometimes, even with school, and didn't even realize it. But, but if you've got children that's as blunt as he is, as I am, whatever, they're gonna spill it. And sometimes they ain't gonna realize it, or sometimes they ain't gonna care, they just gonna spill it. And if they don't speak on it, they sure enough gonna show it. So it is our job to be the best parent that we can be. Nobody's perfect. I'm gonna say that again, because I'm not saying be perfect. Ain't nobody on this earth perfect. So don't be thinking that. But you can still try your best to be the best parent that you can be. And be the person that you're going to be proud of. When you pass away, you're going to be like, okay, I led my baby right. I led my baby in the right path. I know, so at least when I pass away, I know they're going to walk down the right path to where, when Jesus comes back to collect his few people, if he's one of those people that's still living around here by then, I know he's going to go, and if not, at least I know when he passes away, I know where he's going. I know he's going to heaven. You want us as a parent, I would hope that's what you hope for, and your babies and your children, no matter how old they are. And, I want us to have more of that mentality, because our little Landon back here, I'm going to tell you, he's very blunt. He loves himself some God and Jesus. And he's just as blunt as his mama, and he will walk around proudly with his chest stuck out and head held high and tell you how much good God is, and, tell you, well, God don't like that, mama. God wouldn't like that. If he's saying that, he would not be happy right now. I mean, he's very blunt, but you know what? That's a good thing. That lets you know, hey, his mama's telling him the right stuff. His mama's raising him the right way. That's just because that's how we were raised. That's how, God has spoke to me and told me how to raise my son. And that's something, we all need to do. That's something that we all, should want to carry with us, when we pass away. So, with that being said, I'm done with that. And back to the financials thing, don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. I know it's easier said than done, but, if you're struggling thinking, oh my gosh, if you're like me, I like to have all my stuff paid. I don't like to be late on anything. I was always the type of person growing up, I didn't like to be in trouble, so I would flip out, I'd break out in sweats everywhere and be sweating bullets thinking, oh crap, cops don't come get me, and my mind would go straight to the worst thing possible just because I did not like being in trouble. But it's okay. Just breathe. Just be still. And, do what you can. And God will do what you can. Try your best, but don't sweat over it. Don't stress yourself out a hemorrhoid or something. Don't. It's going to be okay. We're going to be okay. And I have to tell myself that. So, with all this said, I hope all of you got a blessing from my video and several laughs. That's just how I am. But I want you to always feel happy and motivated and, full of laugh, and smiles and when you watch my videos, because that's my point in it. Life's too short and life's too stressful enough as it is. So I want to be, that part of light, that part of blessing for your day, for your life, as much as I can be, because we all need it. And so just keep on going. I know you've got it. You're going to do awesome. Whatever it is that you're fighting with, whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is that you're going through, I know you got it. And the reason why I know this, I don't even know you. I may not even know you. But God knows you. And also, I know that you're going to make it. And I know that you're going to be okay. Because God is God. When I know that God is up there, and He's watching after you, and He's watching after Chris, He's watching after me, He's watching after Landon, Mason, all of our, Jaden, Chandler, all of our babies, our family, all of us here on earth. He's watching over all of us. Just have faith in Him, trust in Him. He's got you. You will be okay. Everything will be fine. So, go live your day, be happy, be joyful, be the awesome you I know you can be. Just have fun. And like I said earlier, just get outdoors, find something to do, to where you're not stuck in social media world, to where you get yourself back, to where you get the simple life back, to where it is okay to not always have your phone. It is okay to not always have your social media. It is okay to step out in God's nature, every once in a while and just be outdoors and not cooped up in a house, because our body really, truly needs that. It can't be cooped up in a house every day, all day long. So, I hope all of you have a super blessed day. Y'all be safe. And if it's this weekend, if it's tomorrow, if it's next week, whenever it is God speaks to me and tells me to get back on here, motivate you guys some more, I will be back on here and I will see you guys later. And if y'all need me, like I've said before, reach out to me. And if you don't know me, so you don't want to reach out to me, I promise you it's okay. I'll probably be the same way. And that's fine. But find somebody, that you can reach out to. That you can at least talk to, vent to, or need help with something. Because we don't need to hold a lot of stuff in. Because if you keep holding stuff in a certain amount of time, it's going to come out. And it may not come out in the best way. I know this way too well. But I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. I hope y'all got something awesome from my video. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Love you.